All right, welcome back, guys, to For the Republic. It's your boy, Louis Valentine, with my good friend, Karandeep Singh. All right, we have a great show in store for you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks, a couple days, some time since our last episode. We were
hmm
dealing with some personal business, nothing dramatic, nothing, no bad news. Um, but here we are. And, we have some big news. We're going to talk about 2024, our boy, our leader Donald Trump. We're going to talk about the Tate Bros, the Taint Andrew Taint, and the Red Pill Bros, and we're going to talk about Biden and the our dictator, our
Wow.
fellow, our honorable chairman and commander,
Our,
savior,
our wannabe dictator.
Joe Biden. And so, tune in, enjoy the show, and don't forget to check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/4 the number 4 the Republic. There you're going to hear more exclusive episodes. We have more episodes on there. If you want to hear more of our sweet angelic voices. All right, and let's get started. So Donald Trump was indicted this week again. This time for his case in Florida over the classified documents. And so the special counsel, Jack Smith, this is a federal case, so it has a federal judge. It's not like the one in New York. He was indicted for concealing documents pertaining to national security, obstruction, careless storage of them. They have photos too of how they were stored. They were like one was in like in a bathroom. Um, we're not going to talk about the legal ramifications because I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm not an attorney.
I am.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You're not. Oh well, we're both not attorneys, and so we're not going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the political ramifications of it all because that's what we talk about politics. We're not attorneys. Again, just so you know, just in case anybody's like, "Oh, you didn't get that factually right about the cases." It's like we're not attorneys. What do you want us to do? Be his lawyer? I will. And so I guess your initial thoughts, Karen Deep, on the Trump indictment. What do you think? What do you make of it? How do you think it's gonna flow? What's gonna happen? What do you make of it? Just thoughts.
No, I think most of us already know that he wasn't gonna be charged for it. It was pretty bogus again. But does he have any other cases that he needs to go through?
Well, he got indicted in the one in New York, so that case I think is in January.
Uh,
And then there's the
all right.
Georgia one with the special counsel again for the call he made.
About the
Then there's
voting.
the other one. Was it January 6th? I think they were trying to get him for January 6th, I think. I think that's the other one that he has. I
And
think he has four.
there was
Or the
the rape case of an ugly woman.
no, that one doesn't count. I'm talking
Okay.
about like indictments over like political stuff. Well, I think there's one for January 6th, but I don't know if he's really like involved in that. I don't know about that part.
No, yeah.
Um, no, that's pretty much it.
Um, but I mean, if they're gonna keep indicting him, it's gonna make him even more popular. So I don't know how they're planning this game out in order to get Trump out. But let's see how it goes. I don't
I
know.
think they want him in jail. That's why they. I don't think. I think in the beginning they were probably like, if we indict him, might hurt him, and then they realize they won't hurt him. They're probably saying, well, the only way to get him out is if he's in jail. That's what I think. I don't think Democrats are afraid of anyone else. You don't see the polls moving for Ron
Nah,
DeSantis. Mike Pence is actually going up in the polls, surprisingly enough. So he might be beating Ron DeSantis pretty soon. I
really.
thought last poll I saw, I
He's
think
really that far up ahead.
I heard DeSantis is at 14%, and I read that Pence is now at 8%. So that's only 6%. It's really nothing, by the way, because Trump is like at 59%. But
Yeah.
still, and for second place, that's the big fight. Even though they're not getting anything. It's not like Mike Pence is going to be president. But back to Trump. I think that Democrats want him in jail. I think they feel that the only way he can be taken out if he's in jail, because they believe that if he's actually in jail, if he's put in handcuffs and sent to a federal prison, like Rod Blagojevich, the governor of Illinois, back when Obama became president in that scandal. I think they're going to try to do something like that. Like he'll be unpopular enough to the fact that Republicans, even MAGA, won't. They hope that MAGA won't back him if he's in jail. And I think most MAGA is saying, no, we'll back him if he's in jail because we know this isn't real. This is like, just to bring Andrew Tate in for a second, it's like this is like Matrix shit. You know what I mean? Like this isn't real. This is all made up. Like the one
Mhm.
in New York. This was made up. Nobody goes to jail for business valuations. That's the other one. The New York State. The AG is gonna get him wants to get him for overvaluating his businesses, his properties, which a lot of people do. It's not even really a crime. And the New York one, I think the district attorney was for what? What was it about again? Oh, for the hush money, which isn't really like, which by the way, that's
Oh,
manufactured.
that's
But it's like
yeah.
MAGA. We know. I say I'm MAGA. We all know this is all fabricated. This isn't real. This isn't legitimate because he's being targeted. So Democrats are doing what they love to do to other people. When you do to them, they hate it and they start screaming insurrection. Is that they hold you guilty and you need to prove your innocence when that's not how justice works. You're innocent until proven guilty. But no, Trump is guilty of something. We're gonna find it, and then we're gonna send him to jail. We're gonna take him to court, indict him, and then hopefully get him in jail to avoid him being president again. Because I think
Mhm.
they know that if he continue this, I think they know, and we'll talk about the rest of the Republicans and how they feel about this and how they're wrong. Um, Democrats feel that he's the nominee. I agree with them. We agree. He is the nominee, pretty much. I mean, if you're at 60% and you've been polling and you're increasing your lead over everyone else, and Ron DeSantis isn't really ticking with anybody except with old white people sometimes. But it's
Right.
like he's not ticking. Mike Pence is has a ceiling and it's very low, and everyone else isn't really going anywhere. Like Nikki Haley's not going anywhere. Tim Scott's not going anywhere. Chris Christie is a fat joke. Asa Hutchinson, why? Doug Burgum, what? It's like who?
Yeah,
Like
who? Yeah,
there's no one
who?
else. Exactly. It's like there's no one else. So the point is, they're doing this because they know he's the nominee, but they don't want him being president because they know deep down there's a chance he can be president because they're not confident Joe Biden can go out, get on stage and defend his record. He can't invent. Like it's not that because Joe Biden's old. It's like no, because the record is terrible. Even if Joe Biden was conscient, was cognate,
He's still
he
terrible.
was had exactly. That's the point. It's like he's still bad. There's not a good record. Even if he was like 50 years old and had a sharp mind and talk and not fall down the stairs or up the stairs, like if he was normal, it was a bad record. There's nothing to defend. So they know that the only way to get Donald Trump out of the picture is to put him in jail and hold the Republicans nominate Ron DeSantis or Mike Pence or whomever who will not have the same traction because Republicans who like DeSantis live in la la land. They just do. I'm sorry. They think that it's all about liberty, freedom, and you can just pretend to be Ronald Reagan again and without any personality, and that it'll work. It's not how this works. It's like he's polling at 14%. He's been in the race for almost a month now. He's not moving anywhere. And you're with it. It's early. Yes, it's early, but things the trends begin this way. It's a trend that he's not going up in the polls. He's staying there, and other people are moving up. That's a bad trend.
Hmm.
You don't want to turn into a trend, and particularly this one is bad. So everyone's reading it wrong. So Trump, that's the only reason I think, because I do think they're afraid of him because they saw what he did for 4 years and they didn't like it. They can call him stupid. They can say that we don't like him because he's stupid. No, that's bullshit. They don't like him because he's stupid. They don't like him because he messes up. He exposes them for what they are. I always go back to that debate with Hillary, the second town hall debate, when he pretty much said that, you know, when they asked him about the taxes, and he said, "Oh, you cover your taxes." Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I do,
that
and
was
every single one of her donors do.
that was a good response too.
Yeah, it's like I like the Chappelle bit when he was on Saturday Night Live when he said the man came out of came from that door where inside to do all of the corruption. He came out, told everybody, "Hey, everything you think we're doing in there, we're doing," and then went back inside the house. It's like, yeah, that's literally what he did. It's like he's from that world, came to the real one, and said, "Yeah, these people are corrupt, and I don't like that, by the way, and we're gonna end it." And they were like, "What the fuck? Well, how dare he say that? We're not corrupt. Every time you see us, we're telling you about how much we love gay people and how much we care about blacks and the welfare and we care about freedom of speech." No, they don't. They don't because they get back into that house and they do all the corrupt stuff. Like not paying their own taxes, like her donors, pretty much, and her. So that's why they don't like him, because he exposes them for what they are. People say, but he's a billionaire. It's like, yes, but still, name one billionaire who's authentic and did all that, who came out and said, this is what they do. Don't give
Kanye
me Elon,
West.
because Elon, no, don't give me Elon. Don't give me Elon. Elon hasn't done shit. He builds Teslas. Whoopee. He's smart. He's a genius. But the genius voted for Joe Biden. So how smart can he be?
Right.
Like, I don't give me that. Oh, but he sacrificed himself. He bought Twitter. He bought a company. It's like, am I so? Yeah, great. But it's still, it's like this idea that he's a savior. He hasn't done anything yet. He's still bought and paid for by China. Has he fixed that problem? No. So yeah, and he voted for he thinks he's very smart. Elon does believe this, and then he goes on. He votes for Joe Biden. Apparently he told Trump that he voted for Trump in 2020, which was a lie. But he actually voted for Joe Biden, and now he says he wants Ron DeSantis. Am I supposed to trust that? No. It's like, yeah, Democrats can change their mind, but still, not this guy. Not a guy who doesn't think he's wrong. Not a guy who thinks he's too smart. Not a guy like that. Not that quickly. Not that quickly. So is Trump in trouble? Like, I'm gonna be honest. This isn't the best look for him, because they kind of did show pictures where he had these like boxes and, like, bathrooms, and he had them in like these hallways, and is it a terrible look? It's not a bad, it's horrible look, but it's a bad look. So it's not.
Why are the boxes in the bathroom?
Ask him. Ask him. I'm just pointing out It's like this is where Trump had. Apparently, that's where the FBI or whatever the special counsel took these pictures of. Now, could this be fabricated? Could they have moved the boxes there and done this? Sure, they could have made
Yeah,
that up and put the
that doesn't
boxes
make
in
any
the bathroom.
sense.
But
Unless he's reading all these documents while he's taking a shit.
I don't know. And so it's like it is difficult to defend, but still, there's a reason they're doing this to him. This is my point. It's like, I ignore all of that because we know why you're doing this, because you're corrupt and you want to take him out. So it is election interference. Trump keeps saying that. People are like, he's talking about the stolen election. The government, the party in power, is using all the levers of power, all their levers of power and influence, to prevent him from being a presidential candidate post nomination. That's what they're doing. One political party is punishing the leader of the most popular opposition leader, Donald Trump, and the Republicans, who's the opposition. The Democrats are in power. They're preventing him, they're punishing him so he doesn't become a nominee for president in 2024. That's what they're doing. How is that not election interference? How is it not? So that's what they're doing. Is it going to work? I don't think so. They're betting on that there are enough weak-minded and timid and shy, and I don't want to make a big deal out of things, Republicans and independents, that are going to say, oh, Trump is too much drama. What drama? They're attacking him every day, which is what I don't get about Republicans and these independents. They're saying, but Trump is too much drama. He's too dramatic. Dramatic.
I mean, he's not the
He's
one
the one.
starting majority of
He's
the
not the one
times.
starting it.
Yeah.
Obama took documents. They sued him. They settled. He kept his documents. Bush, the same big deal. Biden, when he leaves, if he's not dead in 6 months after he's gone, same thing's gonna happen. He's gonna want to take documents with him. Joe Biden has documents with him from when he was a senator. And I'm not talking about 2007 when he was
Oh,
a senator.
really?
About
Oh, I thought
potentially
when he was vice president. Wow.
no, also when he was a senator, where he doesn't have that big of a security clearance. So, and I'm
Ah,
not talking about he was a
that's smart.
senator in 2007. I'm talking about when these could be documents from he was a senator in the 80s, in the 90s, or when he got elected in the 70s. So this is a whole bunch of that's a way bigger problem than Donald Trump having some documents that don't even matter. Apparently, some of them don't even matter. They're letters, they're gifts, they're memories, that are things like that, memos. Some of them aren't even big, but because they can invent stuff, and this is the reason why we get it. But there's a reason why these people don't. These independents, for the most part, they believe it. They're gullible. I'm sorry, but they are. And they believe it. They watch CNN, they watch Fox, they watch MSNBC. When they see all these headlines like Donald Trump had documents that could have put our national security in jeopardy. First of all, we know that's bullshit. We know it's BS. That's not true. But the people, the independents watching that, believe it. They're gullible. That's why they voted for Joe Biden in 2020. They knew it was coming. They should have known, but they still voted for him because they're gullible. They don't like too much drama. They don't like too much of the. They're like, oh, that's too much. Why can't he be normal? Because normal doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Barack Obama was normal, and he got us into 7 wars. We had 7 wars under Barack Obama. We ran out of bombs. He drone struck. He conducted drone strikes on families, children in Pakistan, for example, Yemen, Somalia. It's like normal. That's what you want, I guess. I mean, it's a whole joke. And so, will it work out in the long run? Again, politics is short term. So in a month we might be talking about something else. In a month we might be talking about something else completely different. We'll be talking about how, I don't know, maybe someone dropped out of the Republican nomination. So there's a whole bunch of time to go. And politics is this short. I mean, people back in January, February, when the Ohio train wreck happened, they were saying that we'll never forget what happened to them in East Palestine. They forgot. No one talks about them.
Yeah.
Republicans included. They don't talk about it. Like it's done. It's done. It's all. That's how politics works. It's things happen, more stories come out, and people lose focus. So in 2 weeks, we probably won't. 2 weeks to a month, we won't be talking about this indictment anymore. We'll just mention it, like, oh, he's indicted twice, blah blah blah. Right. Um, so how does it affect? He'll be the nominee. I think as long as he's not in jail, and maybe even if he's in jail, he'll be the nominee. Does he have to debate? I wouldn't debate. I wouldn't debate if I was Donald Trump. I wouldn't give the rest of them any
How
importance
come?
because really,
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
debating, having Republican debates and having Trump show up there is pretty much him saying that, yeah, you guys are my rivals. They're not rivals. They shouldn't be running for president. I love how people are saying, and this is when we move into 2024, not just Trump. Um, I love how people are saying, like, I hear a couple things. I hear one is this, and I hear this mainly from the DeSantis camp because they're pussies and they don't know how to actually debate and give reasons why Ron DeSantis should be running, other than he should be allowed to, blah blah blah. And why is Trump attacking him? It's because he's running for goddamn president. That's why, because he's a rival. Like, I don't remember when's the email where I never got the email saying that Donald Trump wanted Ron DeSantis to run for president. I don't remember the email anyone saying that Ron DeSantis should run for president. He decided that on his own, which he didn't, by the way. His wife decided for him because his wife apparently seems she's going to be the next Michelle Obama, as if that was a good thing. But because it's a Republican, now we're supposed to like that. No, it's bullshit. And so I hear one. It's like, why does Trump attack Republicans? Because they're attacking him. They're attacking him. I mean, Ron DeSantis goes out there when he still hasn't announced he's running and pretty much says that, oh, I don't know about hush money to porn stars. That's not what I do. That's a shot. He took a shot. What is Trump supposed to do? I'm sorry, Ron. I should have never done this. No. Why are you saying that? Are you on the side? And then he says, oh, it's because I'm more MAGA than he is. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
right. What the fuck?
What are you talking about? When you were a congressman, you voted against funding the wall. And then you justified that by saying, well, he was going to spend more money than I wanted to on other things. That's kind of the justification he gave for not voting. He voted against it. And it's like, people need to figure this out. You need to like grow up, like grow a pair of balls, be a man or be a woman or be whatever gender you are. It's like, grow up. This is going to happen. If you run into a race because you want to take down somebody, that other person is going to attack you because they don't like the fact you're in the same race when you never should have been in the race. It's like, I get it. When Nikki Haley runs, it's like, okay, it's pointless. She wants money. She wants to make money. When Chris Christie runs, it's because I get it. You have a grudge against Trump and you want to make money. You want spotlight. I get it. Asa Hutchinson. Yeah, you want to make some money because they know they're not getting, they know the only way there's any remote chance they get the nomination is if Trump is in jail. That's why. That's why they're running. One, because they want money, and deep down they think that if Trump is actually going to jail, they'll have a chance to be president or have a chance to be the nominee. Now, any Republican should win in 2024 because Biden's a weak candidate, honestly. Unless, odd things happen.
Unless it was Chris Christie.
Unless it's Chris Christie or Doug Burnham or,
I wouldn't put my
Tim
money
Scott
on
or
Chris Christie against Joe Biden.
No, against the Waffle House menu, yes, but not against Joe Biden. Yeah, that's the one thing I hear. The second thing I hear is that that Ron DeSantis is going to be a better president than Trump because he's not going to make the decisions that he's not going to, I guess, accommodate people in a way that Trump did, where he took recommendations from people like Chris Christie to hire Christopher Wray, which may have been a mistake, but you know, again, that's also on Christie. It's like, well, that's kind of your fault, Chris. You're running saying that Trump made was bad. It might be a disaster. It's like you did recommend like people to him. You did coach him to debate Biden in 2020, like, and then you regret it. That's the other part. It's like these people. I hear these things from these Republicans. I'm just like, do you really want to win, or do you just want to win on your terms and then never win? Because this is the way they want to win on their conditions, and then when those conditions don't actually lead to winning, they complain that it's all Donald Trump's fault, or it's that the Democrats are using minorities for this. It's like, grow up, man. We have to be more calculated. We have to be a little cold-hearted here. We can't be soft and saying that I want the best policy candidate like Ron DeSantis, even though he has no personality, won't win any. Like he won't win any Latinos over because all the Latinos like Trump. Most Latinos who are Republicans, they love Trump. Like myself, it's like he's not winning anybody over. In fact, we're probably going to lose the Latino community because of Ron DeSantis with his stupid immigration policy, which came out of nowhere. The Republican Hispanics in Florida don't like this, but because he thinks this is MAGA, that this is no, it's such a joke. And so he comes out, and so they come out and they're like, the response to the indictment isn't, yeah, this is another attack on the opposition, and particularly Donald Trump, and this is an election interference because they are preventing one. Instead of saying that, they're saying, oh, well, I would have never had the boxes. What? And then they're saying, oh, well, I'm going to pardon him on day one. It's like, what? You're not going to be president. Like, be realistic here. You're not going to be president. We need to please just stop this foolishness and band around him. And the other thing I hear is that the presidency is not a monarchy. There's no kings in America. He's not entitled to being president. Okay. Who the fuck said that he's the king? Who? Who said this? Where? When? And how? Who said this? No one said that he's the king. We're just saying that he's the guy to get the job done. That's what we're saying. That he's the one who's going to stand up to China and face them head on. That he's the one who can stop the Ukraine war. Instead of saying that they're not in favor of it, and then when they get to office, like DeSantis is going to do, like Pence is going to do, like all the rest of them are going to do, and give the Ukrainians money. Because DeSantis says he's not in favor of it, but he's a politician through and through. When he gets in, he's going to cater to the establishment, because that's what he is, and he's going to give them money. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Stop trying to think that, oh, he's actually MAGA, because no, he's not. He's a politician. Where was he all these years before he became governor? What was he doing? What was of significance to him? Nothing. Nothing. He was a guy who wanted a political job, and now his wife thinks she can be Michelle Obama. That's what this is all about.
Is she just trying to get attention?
She wants to get attention. She wants to be Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. Some shit like that.
I feel like
she's running that campaign, by the way. From what I've heard from people, she's running the marketing on his campaign. She's pretty much like the marketing director. He's like campaign manager. Not officially, because people are going to look this up and say, no, it's not. It's someone else. Not officially, dumbasses. It's unofficially. She's in charge. That's what a lot of people are saying. That's what I've heard, and that's what it looks like. So, and it's not against the woman, but please, it's like, I don't want him to being managed. We don't want our political candidates being managed by consultants or family members or etc. We've had that before. Donald Trump is his own man. Melania stands her. She's pretty. She does projects. She raises her son. She does a great job being that. She doesn't need to be in her own office planning policy. That's not her job. We didn't elect her. We elected him.
I think it's very scary that not a lot of people worry too much about foreign policies. Because when you look at it between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, Trump has experience. Ron hasn't even talked about foreign policy at all. I haven't heard anything at all. So it's like when you look at foreign policies, like get everything out of the way. When you look at foreign policies, who can do better? Trump did it better. Trump did a fine job of foreign policy. Is it like perfect? No.
No, that's my favorite. No,
but like when you look at from Ron DeSantis' view of foreign policy, he hasn't spoke about it at all.
No, he has. He flip flopped on Ukraine. Remember?
Oh, yeah, you
Flip
did.
flopped when he had a chance to show his strength and say, "Oh, what I'm going to do in Ukraine." He flip flopped. He said, "Oh, it's a border war," and they said, "Oh no, Tucker Carlson, he misinterpreted me.
And
He
that's
abused,
the
twisted
scary
my
part.
words."
If you already
That's the
flip flop about one foreign, policy about Ukraine and all that stuff, that's a scary situation.
and that's it's a pretty important one when you flip flop on key positions on this. This is scary. It's going to be like 2017 again when all the Republicans are on board to get rid of Obamacare, and John McCain comes out of nowhere because of a vendetta and says, "Oh, I'm not going to get rid of Obamacare," even though he had been saying that for the last 8 years. It's like, what are we doing here? It's going to be the same thing. We're going to get to the point where everybody says, "Oh, we're going to stop funding Ukraine." Even Kevin McCartney, who the 20 conservatives who think they're
McCartney.
like the A team, don't like giving money to Ukraine. He doesn't like it either. The speaker, who those 20 conservatives who call themselves the 20 patriots, the A team, they think they both agree they don't want to give money to Ukraine. Ron DeSantis is going to give money to Ukraine. I bet you. I bet you if he's president, he'd give them money to Ukraine because that's what he's all about. He's going to bring all the neocons back in and they're going to betray him like they always do because the neocons are some of the most cowardly, pathetic group of ideologues I've seen in politics at the same level as the Marxists. They're pathetic. And that's what Ron DeSantis is surrounded by. That's what he's going to surround himself by. A bunch of careerists who just want the position, the title, the status, the money, in the luxuries. They don't care about the country. They don't care. But when you look at the Trump team, yeah, they're not from Harvard or Yale, not all of them, but they care about the country and the people. They care about the people in this country that actually make things work. So I just don't see how this is a beneficial thing. It's like again, and we keep talking. I keep hearing people talk about Ron DeSantis and the way it's like he did a great job with COVID. Okay, what about before that? I mean, Florida is ranked in the bottom percentile of education, and he's worried about CRT and Black History Month. That's what he's worried about. Before all this, by the way, they were still ranked in the education of all 50 states.
Mhm.
After he did this, they're still ranked at the bottom in the 50 states. What have you done to fix this? The cost of living in Florida is going up exponentially. People can't live how they used to live 3 years ago before the pandemic, the way they lived today. They can't. The cost of living has increased a lot in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Tampa, a lot. It's increased a lot. They're moving up north to Jacksonville, Tallahassee, but no, they're gonna have to end up moving out of state. They're gonna have to end up moving to Alabama or Georgia because it's getting too expensive, and people are complaining. And the native Floridians are saying, "Why the hell are all these people coming here, and why does our governor keep telling them to come?" And then Ron DeSantis passed this bill this week. You can pull it up if you want, where he pretty much banned manufacturers of cars, car companies, directly selling cars to the customers, which means like Ford, Ford Motor Company selling to people, not selling through a dealer. But guess who can do that in Florida? Tesla. No other car company can do it except for Tesla in Florida.
Mhm.
Oh wait, who's endorsing and who's pretty much giving money and access to Ron DeSantis? Ooh, the guy who runs Tesla, Elon Musk. Oh wow.
Oh
Where am I going with
wow.
this? He's bought and owned. He's bought and owned. He's a guy who's bought and owned because that's what he's always been. He's been a politician. He takes money from companies. That's what he does. This is what he is, and it's like no, it's like I'm not offended. No offense, but this is what he is. It's like I can't deny it. And so the other thing here is that he's too old, and that Trump is only going to have 4 years. Yeah, because he was president once and he did a pretty good job at it, and the Democrats screwed the entire country over, and now we only have 4. That's the problem here. That's the problem here. That's the only reason, and that he's too old. Yeah, he's older again because we got screwed the last time. We got screwed. That's why. And then does Ron DeSantis' youth mean that he'll be a better president? I don't remember that. Barack Obama was pretty young, and he's one of the worst presidents of all time. Ronald Reagan was pretty old when he left office, and he's one of the greatest presidents of all time.
How old was he again?
Ronald Reagan
Yeah, when he left.
in his 70s.
70s.
I think he might have been like 80 when he left, or
Yeah,
81. I think
I
he
keep thinking 80.
I think he left in the 70s. But still, 77, 79 doesn't really matter at this point. Joe Biden's going to be the oldest president when he leaves. He's beating his record. He's already beaten his record. So, like, we're like in a point now where I hear like these Republicans are going to screw us up again, like they always do, and it's why it's frustrating to be a Republican or a conservative right now, because there are jackasses in this movement that are screwing things up. That are saying that, oh, uh, Trump is not gonna isn't ready, isn't gonna do a good job. It's like, what? He was president. He did a great job. He's the only person, by the way, that I know in the Republican field that can stand up to China legitimately and get them into to get their act together. That can talk to the Mexicans. That can talk to Europe. That can talk to the Asian countries. That can get respect from all the other countries in the world and say, okay, yeah, no, he's serious about this. This is serious. He might actually do something if we don't fall into line. Not right now, where everybody treats us like a joke. Pretty much the entire world thinks, by the way, and this is I'll talk about this another day. But the entire world thinks that America is like this decadent country, that it's on a decline, and that they don't need us anymore. And they actually talk as if they built the world, as if they're the reason the world is their countries are doing so great. It's like I hear these countries in the Middle East. It's like, wait, you've taken billions of dollars in financial aid from us over these past couple of years. What do you mean you did this on your own? What about the billions of dollars we give you? What about that? What about the free protection we give to these countries in Europe? You forgot about that? That's the only reason, by the way, you can spend money on these other things. You think the Norwegians spend money because they're green and they're no? They have money. They have oil money up in those countries. People believe these people.
Yeah.
People get delusional. They believe in themselves a little bit too much, and then they turn delusional. They think everything in the world was done because of them, and the world doesn't exist before them. It exists now, and they made the world great. That's what they think. It's pathetic. And so we have all these other candidates like Mike Pence. Mike Pence was pretty much third, I think. I'll put him third, so as well I'll mention him. He has a very low ceiling, like I mentioned before, and his ceiling is he's a he's a very arch Christian evangelical candidate. So he'll gather a lot of the pro-life people because he's very pro-life, and that's a good thing. But that's most of his support. He's not going to get MAGA support anymore because
Yeah.
he's come out and said that he can't defend Trump anymore, and that he's even said that he hasn't really said he'd pardon Donald Trump if Pence ever became president. He's not saying he will. So that's a problem. That's another problem he's going to have. So MAGA won't support him. MAGA's pretty much said we're done with him, and he's only going to get the very Christian evangelical base of the Republican Party, which will not push him over the finish line.
Mhm.
And he also doesn't have any policy. Like what I love people who like Mike Pompeo was doing this too a little bit. Like, oh, when I was the Secretary of State, yeah, but we all know Donald Trump ran the ship, not you. This isn't Obama who let people do things on their own. We all know Donald Trump ran the ship. So Mike Pence is going to come out and say what? That he's the reason the taxes were cut. He's the reason they killed Soleimani and then ISIS. Is that what he's going to say? Is he the reason that they put the Supreme Court justices? Because that wasn't him. That was Trump. So I'm waiting. That's why it's kind of difficult for vice presidents to run nowadays because it's everyone's like looking for what did you do? What did you do? But I thought Mike Pence could have been a good president had we had him in 2024. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he was always like this. Maybe he was always uh, um, uh, an establishment Republican like Ron DeSantis, which means we're screwed because there's no one else after 2024. Maybe after in 2028 if Trump wins. Maybe JD Vance. Maybe I like him, but
What do you
I
think
don't think
about
so.
Vivek from the start of his campaign till right now?
He won't.
What do you think about him?
I like him, but I also thought it was kind of unnecessary. But I like him because I think it's funny because Trump treats him like he's like this little surrogate for him. That like because Vivek's
Yeah.
the only one
Yeah.
that defends Trump when these things come out when he says like like Vivek's the only one that said like we have to come out and defend Donald Trump and support him and if I'm president I'm gonna pardon him. But
Yeah.
it's like Vivek, you're polling at 5%, I think, or like 6%. It's like it's not gonna happen.
Do you
But I
think
think
that he was full of it when he said that? or
I
did you
like that
really
he
think
said
that he
that.
was like genuine about it, that he's gonna
Oh,
pardon
I think
Trump
he's
from the
genuine.
federal cases?
I think Vivek is genuine. I think Vivek's probably the only one that I think is genuine. I think Vivek is probably lining up for like a cabinet position job. Honestly, I think Vivek won't admit that, but he knows that's probably the future. I think what Vivek hopes is that when he gets to a debate with all these other candidates, that he can beat them in a debate and it will increase his
Yeah,
primary
I'm
numbers.
gonna see how
But
he does well with debates here.
I don't think Trump will go to a debate and give them all the luxury. Now he might, but I don't think Trump should do that and give them the benefit or the luxury or the honor of having Trump at a debate when it's kind of pointless. It's like, this is the guy who we need. This is the guy. Please, this is the guy. He's did a great job. We know we're not like right now. People need to understand this country's at a point where we don't need to try someone out new. We had a guy who's still available who can do the job, who did a great job, and he's available. He's right there. We can hire him. I don't understand why you want to see if Ron and or Pence can do the job. We know
Yeah,
Trump can do the job.
a lot of these people
I
are
don't
thinking
need to see.
immaturely.
It's like honestly, right now we can worry about that in 2028. Please let Trump fix this, and then we can let you handle it. Like Trump said, like if anyone tells you they need 8 years to fix this mess, they're bullshitting you. This is the problem. Trump can figure this out in a year. He can do it in a year, and things are worse than they were in 2016. He can do a year. He can fix this in a year. He doesn't need 4 years. He can do this in a year. So it's like, please, it's like. So I do like Vivek though. I like Vivek, and I like a lot of what he says. I just don't think he's electable national. I don't think he is.
I think
I think
I think I think
it's
I think
too.
Vivek needs to learn more a little bit, take some time throughout his years, and then maybe run again.
I think the mistake people make, and I think what sometimes maybe we make this, maybe you make this mistake too, is that we think that people on the conservative movement are popular across the entire country, but when people actually realize that they're actually not well known. Like Vivek's not really well known outside the conservative circles. He's not. People don't know him. People do not know him. People forgot who Nikki Haley was. People know who
Yeah.
Chris Christie was because of the drama that he was involved in, and they know him because he was on CBS, and they know him because remember he was a Republican governor of a Democrat state in the tri-state area where there's millions of people. So people know who he is, and they know the drama. They know he's sassy. And they know him. He's still not popular though. That doesn't mean he's popular. So that's the other people mistake people make where they think, oh, it's like he's popular. It's like no, they just know him. They just know
Now
him. So
who now this one was kind of weird. The Miami mayor, Francis.
yeah, Francis Suarez. Yeah, no,
Why?
same thing as like Asa Hutchinson. No, there's no reason. There's no point.
Like it's
He thinks
unnecessary.
to be because he probably thinks he can be like Pete Buttigieg and get like some momentum, but no, that's not going to happen.
But like,
Republicans don't get that type of momentum. Republicans don't get the luxury of that. They don't. We don't get the media. We don't get the like. We don't get the love. He's a moderate Republican who likes gay people and he loved Black Lives Matter and was out there protesting with them. And now he thinks he can be the mayor.
oh, good
Be the mayor
fucking
and turn into the
luck.
president.
Oh my God.
So no, this is the way he's gonna do this because he needs something else to do after he's the mayor. That's really it. Honestly speaking, that's really what I feel. He knows he's not gonna get anything done when after he's the mayor, and now he needs a job, and he thinks he can get some donors and you can get some people in a room, and you'll get someone with money to support him, and so he'll take their money and he'll fail, and then he'll have a fun time traveling the country and campaigning, but he won't ever get any traction. He won't get any traction. A lot of people, like Doug Burgum, he's the governor of North Dakota. Great, but people from
Uh,
those states, unfortunately, they just don't get any traction. Not a lot of people live there. Again, they're too far away. Where the populations are mostly condensed where we are, the tri-state area, California, the South. They just don't get traction. People from the North Midwest, they just don't get any traction, and they do good jobs. I bet he runs a great state, but he just won't get any. He's not known. He's just not known.
yeah, he was a
I
Brigham
think
is a less well-known political outsider who's entrepreneurial experience. Yeah,
he won't
I
get
don't know.
anywhere. And so maybe he'll get a cabinet position where he'll be like the Secretary of Energy or Agriculture. They'll put him in somewhere and he'll do a good job at that. But he just won't ever be a presidential candidate or a nominee because People just don't know.
I
But if he
love
gets
I
popped,
love
it'll be very difficult.
I love Tim Scott, but he is also unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. It's like no one asked for this. I mean, I
No
get it, you're
one
black,
did.
but still, it's like no one asked for this. It's like Larry Elder. It's like
Oh my
why?
god.
Why? It's like I'm sorry, but if he was the governor of California, for like the last, what, 3 years, and he was doing a good job and etc. And he's turning things around. I still would have said, hey bud, you should stay in California and finish the job. They need you there. But no, he lost that race, and there's never going to be a Republican elected in California for the next 15 years. So that state's gone down the toilet, and so no, he's not electable. He's not electable. Um, who else is running? Asa Hutchinson. Why? There's no point in talking about her.
Yeah, Asa
And
Hutchinson.
who else?
So there's four people that are still trying to weigh their options. Um,
Who?
Glenn Youngkin, Kristi Noem, Liz
She's not
Cheney,
running.
and John
No,
Bolton.
no, no. No, just no. Absolutely no. No.
It's like we don't.
Why?
Glenn Youngkin should just stick around with being governor for Virginia.
Well, he
Everyone,
can only be governor for 4 years, and then he can't run again until like 4 years after that. So maybe he'll be vice president to somebody. I bet that's what Ron's gonna do. Ron's gonna get him as his vice president probably, and be like, "Look at
maybe
us, we're the popular governors, and we're good at what we do for our states." It's like, yeah, but still, it's like this is kind of fun.
that's still not gonna make me vote for them.
No, it's not gonna it's not gonna make anyone feel better. Um, no, I don't know who Trump might choose Kristi Noem as his vice
Yeah,
president.
I'm still trying to think like who would he
If
choose
if
for
he
vice
picks Carrie
president?
Lake, I'm done. I'm just like, please stop, man. I like you, but I get you don't really need one, but still, like
No, he could just
Nikki
run by
Haley.
himself.
Nikki Haley might be can't. Nikki Haley might be positioning herself towards that. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe, and but because I know he says he wants a woman, but it's like there's not a lot of women out there who are out there on the Republican forefront. Please don't choose Carrie Lake, and please, I like Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Nah,
but
she's a bit too much.
no, no, she's gonna cost us. She's gonna say something stupid.
Her and Laura, they're a bit too much.
I know they're fighting. Oh, no, Lauren's not gonna. Lauren, this is Lauren's last term in Congress.
Mm.
People aren't gonna forget the bullshit she did in for the speaker race, which has turned out to be pointless because Kevin has been a pretty good speaker. Now, I don't like the deal he made with this last budget deal. That was kind of a bad thing, but he's done a
Yeah.
good job. Um, it's like it's kind of this 2024 is going to be interesting, but this should be easier than it is. It should be Trump versus Biden again, and Trump wins. There, I fixed it. It's like this shouldn't be complicated.
Well, we just
I
hope
get
that
people like
they don't pull off anything.
they don't pull off, and it's like they're not going anywhere. I just don't see them again. As long as Trump's not in jail. If Trump's in jail, it changes everything because people are going to start saying that, oh well, maybe we have to elect someone who's not in jail. So they'll flock to Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, Vivek, and they'll have like a foursome right there where they'll battle it out to see who ends up on top. But again, that's like that's like at the end of it all. That's what's going to happen. So no. Moving on to the wannabe dictator Joseph Robinette Biden, our fellow chairman, father of the nation, and chairman of
Don't
the
ever say
American Civil
father of the nation. Don't say that.
grandfather of the nation,
Great great
um,
grandfather of the nation.
great great grandfather of the nation, supreme chairman of the Democratic Republic of the United States, the People's Republic of America. What else? Chairman of the American Communist Democrat Party. That was kind of funny. Seeing that on the Chiron and Fox News, but it turned out that person was fired.
Yeah, I heard
Who did
about that.
that
Yeah.
turned out to be fired. I heard that from Tucker Carlson, and so let's dig into that a little bit. Wannabe dictator. What does that mean? So, like, let's look at all the characteristics of dictators we know. So, just name some dictators off if you know any in history. Name some.
Hitler, Mao, Mussolini,
Stalin,
Stalin,
Mao Zedong, Kim
Hitler.
Jong Un, the Kim Il Sung, all the Kims. These dictators in the Middle East, Saddam, what's the Gaddafi, So let's look at
Gaddafi.
characteristics. Let's see if he is. I mean, he can't be a wannabe dictator. I mean, a wannabe dictator
I mean, what? Yeah, what would you call like
would a
what does a
wannabe
wannabe
dictator.
dictator
This is
would
what
do?
it is. A wannabe dictator would weaponize his government so that his opponents don't have the opportunity to challenge him legitimately in elections. Has Biden done that? Has Biden done that?
Wannabe dictator? Oh yeah, he's doing it right now.
Yeah, oh, he is, isn't he? Is has he has Joe Biden? Because dictators, what they do sometimes is also they create these like weird. They have these speeches where they talk about pretty much the opposition being evil, and they have these speeches in front of armed soldiers, and they have these like creepy backdrops. Has Joe Biden done anything like that?
I do remember the creepy backdrops.
Yeah, Doc Brandon.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Oh,
Dark
okay.
Brandon.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. So has Joe Biden, if you want to be a wannabe dictator, you have to have effectively you have a press that's not really a press because you decide who you're going to talk to and you decide what questions you're going to answer.
Yeah,
Like in
he's done that a
like
lot.
in Venezuela or Cuba where the press asks you questions, but they're actually just fake. Do they do that? Do they do that in has he done that?
He's been doing that a lot. He's picking and choosing his own.
Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna check that out. So he chooses the questions and he chooses who answers them. Oh wow. So those three. There's three of the qualities he has. Okay. If Joe Biden is a wannabe dictator, does he have Saddam Hussein had this where his sons pretty much were able to do things. They lobbied on behalf of his father to foreign nationals and they made money and they laundered money and they lived lives without any consequences. I mean, they had sex parties and they had models and they did drugs and they had nice cars and they had huge houses and like his family members live very wealthy lives despite not having the income or jobs to do that. Does he do that? Joe Biden does that? Who in his family does that?
His name is
His
Hunter
name who?
Biden.
Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, is Nancy Biden, Amy Biden,
Pretty
all the
much
Biden,
most of the family, yeah.
the whole family. Oh wow! I did okay. So that's 4 out of 4,
Even
right?
the grandkids.
That's 4 out of 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Joe Biden, if Joe Biden is a wannabe dictator, I feel like we could just stop here at this point. It's like he is not a wannabe dictator. He is like a
He
dictator.
is a
I mean
dictator.
wannabe. He
Yeah,
is.
that's why when I first saw wannabe dictator, I'm like, what does that mean? Why put wannabe just give him a dictator title? But
That's not the point. That's what you
but
got from that?
every time we would say that Biden is more like a dictator, a lot of people would get pissed off by that.
Yes, because they don't like hearing that American president is a dictator in its hand that has dictatorial qualities. No, he's not a wannabe. He is, and that's not the point you should take. It's like, why are you saying wannabe? Don't be that guy. It's why would Fox News fire the guy, the producer that wrote that Chiron, and then sent out a statement saying, "We're sorry it happened and we've handled the problem." The problem? What do you mean? Fox News
Right.
is going down the drain, honestly, by letting that happen. No, Joe Biden has all the qualities of being a dictator, except the fact that he has to leave office soon and he has term limits. That's the only thing he has that doesn't make him a dictator. That he gets elected on suspicious terms. Does that happen to him? Does his election have suspicion or is it like questionable?
A lot of them.
Is it questioned? Does he have a suspicious election? Did when Joe Biden got elected, was it suspicious? Was it weird? Was there claims of fraud that have been pushed under the carpet? You can't question his election. Has that happened?
A lot.
Oh, happened another one. Oh wow, 5 out of 5. Don't be shy. You can say that on YouTube now. They won't take us down for saying that the election was stolen because it was.
No, I'm not shy. It's a lot.
No, no, it
A
happened.
lot have been questioned. Yeah.
All these things are happening. Saddam Hussein's family, the Castro family, Hugo Chavez's family in Venezuela, he allowed his family members to make millions of dollars by literally using the influence of the government and of his father's name, of their names to make money. Saddam Hussein's family lived in luxury. His sons had homes. had mansions, had cars. They had lots of money. They flew to Paris, to Milan, to all these places in Europe. They did all these things. Hugo Chavez's family owned penthouses in Miami and in Madrid. They did all these things. We have Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, where they make money, apparently doing things they're not qualified to do in places like Ukraine, China, Russia.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, in the family lives in these huge mansions. They live in these huge mansions. Where does Joe Biden get the money to have all these multiple properties
Nobody
and
want to question
maintain
that.
them? Because it's not how they buy them; it's how do they maintain them for all these years. Because anybody can get a mansion and then lose it in a year because they don't have the money.
What is his net worth? Let me see.
This is what happens, and he's all of his interviews are scripted. He knows who he's talking to. He knows the questions that are coming his way. He still manages to fuck it up because he's brain dead, which is hysterical. But these are all fake things. Remember when they got the vaccine and they're in that room, which is actually just like a fake room? Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember
It's a
that.
fake room. They have these fake windows. Why can't you just do it at the White House? But no, they have to invent things. They have to invent that they're in these places. It's all staged. It's so dystopian. It's not even so. It's like utopian. It's so weird. And then they take questions. They're all fake. It's all scripted. They're in fake rooms, and then they live these fake lives where it's so insane. It's and they set up and they go out there and they try to prosecute their opposition and they try to put the leader of the opposition party in jail, which is Donald Trump. That's what they're trying to do. Again, election interference. They get elected when they shouldn't win all the polls and when they don't campaign. They don't campaign in 2020. He stays in his
No,
basement.
he stays in the
There's all these
basement.
insensitive he says all these insensitive things. Like he calls this guy a junkie. He says, "If you're not black, you can't vote for me." He calls a woman who asked the real question a lying dog faced pony soldier. He calls people who support him fat. He bullies them. He's racial. He's racially insensitive. He touches women uncomfortably. He sniffs children's hair. And yet, all of a sudden, at 3 a.m. on election night, on the next day, he starts winning all of nowhere. It's not like it's a steady increase. It goes up. It
No,
goes up
yeah,
out of nowhere,
dramatically went up.
dramatically up over his opponent, and it stays there. It stays there, and in all these key states, all of a sudden, these key states that they lost in 2016, they win them all. They win them all the same way. But they didn't win Illinois that way. They didn't win California that way. They didn't win in Virginia that way. They didn't win in New York that way. Why do they only win that way in these states? Nobody wants to answer this question. Why are these ballots being kept in these weird rooms out of nowhere, but being brought out in the middle of the night when everyone's gone? Why do we hear stories of election watchers or the Republican Party not being allowed to actually be in the building under the guise of COVID, but the Democratic one is allowed to get in? Why aren't those questions allowed? Well, because he's a dictator and he won't allow them. The system won't allow them, and he runs the system. That's why. So he is like a dictator. He is.
This
He
one,
has
this one's
all
a
the
bit
qualities
weird. Joe Biden earned 17.3 million over the 4 years he was out of office, but his net worth is only an estimated $8 million.
because it's funneled to the family. That's why it's funneled to the family. Hunter makes the money. Hunter gets the money. The brother gets the money. His sister gets the money. His brother's children get all the money. His wife funnels probably some of the money. So it's like it's funneled. It's money laundering at a huge level. It's corrupt. It's entirely corrupt.
Yeah, he's earning hella money. Like, what the fuck is this? $2,000 per day. 5,000 dollar check. Well, that's 5,000.
No,
Yeah, it's really weird.
it's incredibly corrupt. And so, Democrats are going to vote for him again blindly because they're blind and they don't vote for anybody else, and etc. But no, he is a wannabe dictator, and the fact that Fox News fired the guy who did that, and then put out a statement saying we've handled it and it was wrong. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's like this is a very scary moment where there's no mainstream outlet for actual conservative views. They pretend they are, but the management isn't in line with that. It's a very weird thing. Very weird thing that's happening now in this country. Very odd, and it's a scary thing because it's going to continue happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So, you have anything to say here?
No, not really.
All right. Moving on to Andrew Tate was interviewed by Patrick Bet David and The Valuetainment, which is one of my favorite podcasts out there. Actually, it's probably the only
Yo, he's
podcast I recommend.
Patrick's really getting up there.
Yeah. Well, he's had Andrew Tate on there before, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
very good at what he
yeah,
does. I like what he
yeah,
does. And Andrew did say that the only people he trusts to speak down like this in a comfortable, open way is Patrick. He
yeah.
didn't say Adam; he said Patrick.
Patrick's
Um,
really good. Yeah.
yeah, I like it. Patrick's very good at what he does, and he has great team, great staff, and he's very dedicated. And I like a lot of the shows, and I like that he brings on different people, and it gets tense sometimes because he's not the type of guy that even if he agrees with you, just to let you agree, sit there and agree. He pushes back a little bit. Not
Yeah, he's not. He's
like
not afraid.
no, it's not even being afraid. It's like I'm gonna do what the media should have done, and it's even if I agree with you, it's like, well, let's get into it. Like, why do we do these things? Not that let's just agree and kumbaya and complain that Democrats. It's like, no, let's question things. Like, why are we doing this? Why not, or why shouldn't we? So I like that he asks the questions and he gets into it. Adam, on the other hand, I don't know why he brought him. It's kind of pointless. Um, it's not just because he's a lib. It's just like he's kind of is kind of beta. It's
What's his
like
full name again?
Sosnick.
Who?
Sosnick, Adam Sosnick, Adam Sosnick, Sosnick.
I actually put out sauce.
Oh my god, this guy. But they were there and they went to Romania and they went to Romania to meet with Andrew and they had an episode 4 hours and a half hour. Now, most of the episode was discussed talking about his time in prison, the charges, how he felt, how he's doing. He's fine. All right, so I'm not going to even delve into that or show anything from that. But he did talk about topics that I like. As you know, I am not a fan of the Thoughtcasts. Even though Karen Deep, you keep sending them to me. I'm not a fan of them. I do
You
not
keep
like them.
asking for it, dude.
I don't keep asking for them. Who's asking for them? I'm not
You're
asking
also
for
asking
them.
for Kiko too. So sometimes I'll
Yes,
send stuff from
Kiko's cute.
Kiko.
She's
But
cute,
then,
but doesn't mean
but
I want
you're
them.
also asking for stuff from what's that fat bitch's name? Gorla.
I'm not asking for that. I'm not. It's
You've
just
been
showing up, and you
asking
keep
for it.
sending them. I'm not asking for them.
Whatever you say.
I am not asking for them. But you
Whatever
keep
you say.
sending. You
Because you've
keep
been
sending.
asking for it.
I haven't been. You keep asking them. So, regardless, he talked about they're called the red pill people, and now conservative women have been pretty much opposing them because all of a sudden the red pill guys seem to think that they're conservative men, and they all want to be like Yellowstone and Peaky Blinders, which aren't real, but they want to be like them, and they want to be the guys that we're Sigma, and we have fake British accents, and we're cool, and we're all about making money and Bitcoin and crypto, and we're gonna go out and have sex with women, but the women who have sex with they're whores, and we're gonna call all the women out there whores. What? What? What is this?
What?
That's my reaction to all of this. What is this? So whenever I see these clips that I get sent by force, and I'm forced to watch them by
Like these
the
days.
idiot, that guy, I always have to comment like, what in the incel and thoughtery is this? Because I don't understand how there are people actually taking lessons on dating from men who seem to not like women but want to have sex with them, and now that they have money and aren't ugly, are having sex with women. And by the way, the women they're having sex with are whores. They're whores. They bring the whores in to discuss topics, knowing they're stupid and knowing they're whores, and they want to talk about dating with them when these women obviously aren't dating people. They're just having sex with random men and basketball players and football players and athletes and dudes on Miami Beach. That's what they're doing. They're not real. They're not real people. None of them are real. So they come out and say, oh, I want my woman to cook, but I want to have sex with another girl. What? What? Where are we heading
Yeah,
with this?
I don't like that. Doesn't make any sense.
And so they justify themselves by saying, I worked all my life. All your life. Everyone's worked. Everyone. And so they say, I worked all my life so I can have this lifestyle. And I can talk shit about women. What? So you're an incel that wants to have sex. That's what you want to be, an incel. You want to be a faggot. That's what you want. That's what you're saying.
What
You
the
want to be
fuck?
gay. You want to be gay. That's what you're telling me. When instead you could actually you can go out there, live a fulfilling life, not complain about that you have money and that women want to rip you off, because that's what happens. What you want to do is be gay. You want Sneeko to suck you off. You want
Ooh,
the guys on the Whatever podcast to jack you off. That's what you want. Instead of
ooh,
actually going out, working, working on yourself, getting a good job, yeah, make money. Who said you can't make money? But they say it's like, I make a lot of money. Is that a problem? Who said that's a problem? Who said this? No one has. And so they go out there and they say, I make a lot of money, so now I have the right to be polygamous. What? If you want to be a man who has sex with multiple women, go out there, but don't try to portray yourself as this holier than thou, down to Jesus. Like, I pray and I believe in God, but I want to have sex with multiple women. What are you doing
yeah.
here? What are you doing? What are we talking about? And they do this. Don't deny it. They do this. They everything. Every time I see clips or videos of them, they're constantly portraying this, that women are the one that suck and the men are all the victims, and I'm a victim, even though I don't do anything meaningful except come to this podcast and complain and complain. What? So what I like what Andrew Tate said, getting back to him, is that he pretty much went out and said that they are fundamentally wrong because they believe that the lessons they should is that they have to make money and have sex with multiple women. No, you're making multiple money, you're making a lot of money, and you're working on yourself, and you're going to the gym, and you're getting fit, and you're working, and you're reading, and you're learning, because that's the foundation of being able to live a fulfilling life and to be able to have a family one day. A good woman, a good loyal woman who wants to have children, so that you can raise those children into being fulfilling, responsible, forthright children in the world, so that
Correct.
when they're adults, they go out and do the same. That's why. Not because you're going to make money to go party. That's not what this is. And so Adam is part of the Red Pill community, even though he's a liberal. He makes money, he made a lot of money, he's made a lot of money for himself. And he's had a lot of sex with women, but now he regrets it because he can't find a woman to settle down with.
Yeah, and he's 40 years old.
And he's 40 years old and he's realizing that, hey, yeah, men can have children, but I don't want to be old and have children. Well, this is the problem I always say is you become who you keep yourself around. So the company you keep yourself with, that's who you become. That's who you become to imitate. So if you start hanging out with men who only want to have sex and want to make money and have sex and party in Miami, and the women that you have around are women that want to have sex with guys that have money, so that they can get like Versace and Gucci, and they can get driven around in a Bugatti or a Maserati or Ferrari, whatever the hell they're driving. Because who gives a shit about what car you have? If that's what those women want, what do you think you're gonna find? Mother Teresa? No, you're not. You're gonna
Absolutely
find those
nothing.
whores. You're gonna find those whores who won't be fulfilling or motherly or actual women that you should settle down with. So when he goes on, he has his own show. So when he comes out and he has these shows where they come out and they say that, oh, I'm a high value man. You have to be a high value man, and don't ever let a woman tell you what to do. Don't let women, if a woman dresses in a t-shirt and it's sleeveless and she wears shorts to the gym, she's not a high value woman. What is this? What are we talking about here? Are you an incel? What are we doing? What are we doing? And so I like what he said, where he pretty much came out and said that no, they have the wrong mindset and they got it wrong. And no, having a wife that's a good loyal wife is a good thing. And being with one woman is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's not about being a pussy or being that I'm not making money. And that's a great thing. Having a family is a great thing. Focusing on those things is an amazing thing. And it is.
Yeah.
These red pill guys are twisted. They they don't live in the real world, and they bring these girls who don't know anything, and they also don't know anything, and they mock them. It's like, what are you doing here? Is this like some sadistic incel therapy group? Like, you're not contributing anything to anybody. That's why I asked you the other day. It's like, does this happen to people? These stories I hear that the girlfriend went to Miami. It's like, does this happen to people? Because I don't know anybody who this has happened to. I know people who have been cheated on. I know people who have been lied to in their relationships. I know that.
Yeah.
But like, do we know people whose girlfriends have gone to Miami for a trip when they're dating and get fucked and then come back? Like, do we know people like that? I don't know anybody like that.
Nope. I don't know anyone.
I don't. Do I know people who like? I just don't. Who do OnlyFans? I don't know anybody who does OnlyFans and whose girlfriend does OnlyFans. I don't know anybody who gets cucked. I don't know anybody who's in an open relationship where the men and the women, the man and the girlfriend and the boyfriend have multiple partners. I don't know that. I don't know people like that. And so I'm not saying that it's completely fake, but I'm just saying that it's not the real. It's not real. It's not the reality for most people.
It's not the majority. Yeah.
It's not the reality for the majority of people. So I just sit here thinking, like, who is this for? Is this for them because they're incels, or like, who is this for? Like, I just don't know. So, I do like the interview. I do like what he said, and Andrew does say many very good things. He talks about pretty much that having a family, having children, having daughters. You want to be a good father because you want to be able to raise good sons, strong sons, and good daughters, and you want to teach them things of value. But
Mm.
the other parts of that, you have to be, you should be, you should brag and you should want a yacht and you should want to be godly. And Andrew said that. Andrew said, not everyone's gonna have that.
Yeah.
You
Not
know,
everyone's gonna
getting
have
a
that.
job as a trade, working as a carpenter, as a plumber makes really good money. And if you want to be a teacher, that's great. That's great. But this idea, I hate the red pill people. It's like, oh, you want to sell insurance and be into crypto, and be a content creator. It's like, no, not everyone's meant for that. Not everyone's meant for that. And at least he recognizes it. So he's the only one that recognizes the reality. It's like, yeah, because when he says escape the matrix, it's not that you should go out and have sex with a bunch of whores. That's not what he's saying.
No.
He's saying that you should, not believe everything you're told, and you should go out and learn different skills and go out and live a little risk, have some risk in your life. I like when he says that. I like when he says, go out there, go travel, go take it. If you live in like Madrid, go out and take a train to Berlin and risk. Take a train out to Romania. Go do that. Oh, I might get mugged. Okay, but you will be alive and you've lived. Live a little. I like that message. I really like that message. Yeah. And I think it's a message that people need to hear because you won't hear it on red pill places. You won't hear it there, and they really make me sick. And when I hear these conservatives come out and say, "Oh, those are our guys. Those are not your guys." Those
Have
are
you
not the
seen
guys.
Tristan's podcast with Patrick?
I'm not watching that. He's boring to me. I saw parts of it. No.
I mean, what do you say so far? I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, he just talks about his bond with his brother. That's what I've heard. The bond he has with his
Oh, okay.
brother, relationship. But no, I don't watch a lot of what Tristan says because again, I don't watch a lot of what they say. I don't watch a lot of what Andrew or what Tristan, and it's not disrespecting. It's not because I think they're bums. It's just that I don't have the time to listen to them. I'm not also into the Hustlers University or the courses they have. I'm not into all that.
Right.
Or into the crypto. I'm not into all that. So some people are great. Go follow them. But putting your faith into one basket, into one person is a whole. It's a
Yeah.
lot. To
Yeah.
do that. It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a big commitment. So I'm not into that. And so I think Andrew Tate is right in some things. People have these weird, these really weak mindsets where they say like, if one person says something wrong or if they do something wrong in their life, everything about them is wrong. And yes, there are. And before people bring up the extreme cases, like yes, Jeffrey Epstein, yes, that's wrong, or Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah, that's wrong. But it's like Andrew Tate, yes, he has, yeah, he had a webcam service, and he did this thing. Those are wrong, but does they make him an evil person? No, because people are multifaceted. Not everything's black and white or red and blue or left and right. It's not. Not everything's things are multifaceted. There's different things involved, and people need to remember that because just because it's like yes, like for example, maybe your father was not a great dad, but that didn't make him a bad person.
No.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I
because
get what you're saying.
someone may have lied to you, that doesn't make that a horrible person. Just because that person smokes or does cocaine, that doesn't make them a horrible person. They make bad choices. People make tons of those in their lives. Trust me, I have them. You've made them. Our viewers, you're watching us. You've made them too. That doesn't make them horrible people. That doesn't make them that they're bad and irredeemable. It just means that they're human. And Andrew Tate is a human being like the rest of us. And yeah, they make mistakes and they make decisions. What makes him a real man is that he owns up to them.
It's kind of like a fetish for a lot of people that if one person does one wrong thing, it overshadows all the good things
Everything.
that they've done. They
Exactly.
like they do the same thing with Trump.
That's
It's
a good
like
point.
Trump did a lot of good things, but they saying that, oh, he's racist, so I don't want to vote for him. He's a bad man.
Yeah.
It's like a fetish for a lot of people. Like
They
I don't
say,
know.
oh, he had hush money. Oh, he's a terrible person.
He's a
You never
terrible
vote.
person. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're not living with him. I hear this complaint. It's like I don't like how Trump is as a person. It's like, what, you're not marrying him? But you're getting married to him? You're gonna date him? You're gonna live with him? He's gonna be our president. You don't got to worry about if he cheated on his wife. That's not, you don't got to worry about that.
Mhm. Yep.
They'll figure that out on their own, and he may or he may have not.
That's their
If Melania,
business.
that affects Melania, and if Melania says she's gonna worry about that privately and not right now, why are you talking about it?
It's their
Why are you bringing it
business.
up?
Yep.
Exactly, it's their business. And yeah, that's one big flaw. That doesn't make him a bad person. Doesn't make him people. It's like people act like that, and then they say like they believe in Jesus Christ and they're Catholics or Christians or Baptists. It's like Jesus walked with a prostitute and did not judge her harshly for that. In fact, she was redeemed. She was redeemable. She was the person that had the opportunity to make a better life out of that. Like I just don't see how people nowadays talk about Jesus Christ and then critique you for one mistake you've made in your life. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. But that was a great point. It's like a fetish nowadays. People just look for it. When they see it, they're happy. Oh yeah. Oh my God, he's such a bad person. It's like people act that way. No, you're right.
And we
It's
see this a
fetish.
lot with our friends. Like they want to make a point and they want to stick with that
Yes.
point. They want to make it a negative issue, but not realize the majority of the positive things that they've done. And they just want to make it feel like they just want to be right. It's like
They want
no, don't
exactly.
go
They
around
want
and
to be right.
feel like that way. Like if the person didn't do anything wrong, they didn't do anything wrong. If the person
It's
did
because they
something
want to be
wrong,
right.
yeah, it's so
It's
annoying.
that, like you said, it's because they want to be right. No, it's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. So, yeah. So, no, I think it was a great interview, and I suggest people watch it. It is 4.5 hours long, so it's just kind of a
Yeah,
lot. But
I think I'm almost done with it. I'm watching on Spotify, so they kind of do it with parts. So I'm
yeah.
up.
No, I saw
I
the other
think part
day.
four is the last one, I believe.
I would hope so
Actually,
because if it has like 10 parts, that's a lot.
actually, let me see
That's
how many
a
parts are
lot.
there. I think it should be four. But yeah, it was a really good interview. I like Patrick's questions. Patrick
Patrick is very good. Now Adam
put out a
needs
lot
to
of
shut
good
up.
questions.
But no, I like Patrick a lot. I suggest people watch his show. He brings on guests. He talks about current events, and it's not at an angle. It's at a business angle because he's all about business.
Oh, so there's
But
five
that's what he
parts.
does.
Okay.
By parts, yeah, no. He talks about the red pills. I think in the fifth, maybe at the end. I don't know how long these parts are.
Repo. Okay.
He talks about the red pill people because Adam brings them up because Adam was part of that world, and he kind of just sits there. And I love the part when Andrew kind of just like talks about them. It's like, Patrick, you're a businessman, and you have a business and etc. And then he looked at him and he was like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing that. It was so funny. It's like he doesn't give a shit about him. It's like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. The way he said it was kind of funny to me. It's like
Is it on YouTube or did they decide to remove it because it's Andrew Tate?
it's still there. It's 4.5 hours long.
Yeah, if anything, we'll put the video down on the description below so you guys can give it a
We'll
watch.
include the link so you guys check that out. And then I guess our final topic for today, since we're going into the final topics, we could talk about a little bit of actually, you know what? Let's just bring something up random.
Random. What?
Yeah, so
Joe Biden and Fetterman.
yes.
Dude.
Yeah, that's insane. It's like, dude, what is going on here? It's like we have a dude. First of all, didn't he just come out of like a depression clinic because he was like depressed or something?
Did he?
Yeah, John Fetterman.
I thought he came back
And
from the
why is
hospital
he
again.
who's letting him walk around with a hoodie and shorts?
Yeah, dude, I really want to question that. because it's like
How is he allowed to do this? I thought this wasn't allowed.
there's a lot of things I want to question about the dress code in the White House, especially
There's everything. I want to question everything about them.
you see Fetterman walking around with hoodie and shorts, right? You had a trans person who literally flashed her tits right in front of the White House. It's like they don't give a shit at all. But like, are they really strict with the dress code, or just don't
I
care
thought
about?
they were. I thought they were because I remember a
Yeah,
congressman wore like a bandana and he was told to put it like he couldn't wear that. So I was just like, a
but it's
Democrat
okay
wore
to
like a
wear
bandana.
a hoodie and
But
shorts.
I'm just like, a Democrat was told not to wear a bandana. But I'm just like, but he can wear a hoodie and shorts. Like, what is going on here? And he's just like, and then he like, it's like two lost people walking around. It's like Biden has no idea where the hell he's going, and Fetterman has no idea what he's like.
What are you saying?
Exactly. It's like,
I was watching.
goodbye, everybody.
I was watching a short clip. I don't even know what Fetterman was talking about. I think it was talking about like bridge or something.
Good night,
And he
everybody.
kept
Like, do you have anything
kept
to say about the
stuttering
bridge
his
that collapsed?
words. He kept stuttering his words, and like Biden's right next to us, and it makes perfect sense. That's probably Biden's long lost retarded son or something.
Oh, that's a
Like,
his son.
like it's so funny. Like they both get to like talk to each other, they're stuttering like, so how are you? I mean,
What are you, a junkie, huh? What? What
yeah,
are
but
you,
I don't know
junkie?
what Fetterman was talking about, but
They're talking. They're supposed to be talking about the bridge on I-95 that collapsed outside of Philadelphia.
okay.
That's what they should have been talking about, but they're not. They just mumbled out about how one of them, I guess, is good night, everybody. And then the other's going to talk about how he sniffed, how he tried to grope Eva Longoria, apparently.
Oh, wait, hold up. New York Post. Senator John Fetterman garbles words, wears baggy shorts during events with Biden in Philadelphia. Like, I have a
It's
friend.
so
I have a
strange.
friend. I'm not gonna mention the name. Uh, they're about to have the senator thing with John Fetterman and someone else. Oh, what's his name again? Was it Dr. Oz?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then she decides to vote last minute. Like, just Google's Fetterman and his policies or whatever he's gonna do. And she said, "Oh, I like it. I'll vote for Fetterman." Have you watched this debate? Have you watched this speech? The dude, he doesn't even know where he's at. He got up from a stroke like around what May last year,
he was
and
like, yeah, that
and
March
they
or
put
something
him
like that.
and they put him right back.
Yeah.
That's not
And
healthy.
there were doctors that came onto CNN. There was a doctor, a female doctor, I think one on CNN, who pretty much said that like when you recover from a heart attack or a stroke, I think like they were saying pretty much, and I saw people in the comments, people because a lot of people in this country have these problems. They were pretty much saying that like, yeah, the first 6 months are when you recover. And 6 months had passed for Fetterman. If he's like this, they were saying that he was gonna be like this for the rest of his life. Which kind of sucks for him, but then again, he was a pretty shitty person before the stroke. So
Everyone else is like I'm watching a little video. Everyone wearing suits, and he's over here running
yeah, he's
around
the one
with
wearing like
shorts and hoodie.
I'm wearing a suit on a podcast. And this guy's wearing shorts and like a t-shirt and a hoodie at the Senate, the U.S. Senate. He's a U.S. senator.
Dude's built like a troll,
He is a troll.
and it's like why are you looking at his policies and all that right at the last minute before like voting for anyone
Because people in this
else?
country, most people in this country don't know how to vote or know how to read or do anything right.
Yeah.
So
And it's
there's
like
a lot of
you
people
guys
like that.
haven't watched any of his speech or his debate. Like dude kept mumbling his words. He doesn't
You
know
know,
what
it's
he's
also the worst thing
saying.
that people do. They vote for the person that they've heard of. So you like, let's say they heard of
Yes.
Cory Booker. It's like Cory Booker and who's the guy who ran against him? Patel something. I think his last name is
I don't
Patel.
remember his name.
And it's just like they vote for Booker because I know him.
He's
You don't really know
popular.
him. Yeah, he's popular. Like he's a household name, kind of. They know who he is. They're like, oh yeah, that's the senator. Yeah, I'm just gonna vote for him
And Democrats
because I
do a
know him.
good job. Like they're
And they don't do a good job.
popular.
They don't do a good job. They're
No,
horrible at
not in a good way, but you
yeah,
get what
no,
I'm saying.
exactly.
Like,
It's like no, exactly. It's like, but people vote for them because they know them. They know them.
yeah, exactly. So it's all the popularity.
Yeah. So it's like, and the same thing happens with like Menendez or like all these other people. And again, the same thing happens too with some Republicans too. Like, why does Liz Cheney get elected? Well, the name. It's like, yeah, they know her. That's Dick's son. So it's like they know him. They know who she is. That's Liz. So they vote for her. It happens both ways, and it's a mistake people make in this country where they really should be focusing on the policies. What does this guy or woman want to do when they get into office? And if they don't vote for that, the worst thing that they do, and we know this happens, they vote for them because of they're black, Latinos, or Muslims, or Arabs, or women, or they're gay. We know that happens. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah. So it happens. We know that. We all know a big reason Obama got over the finish line because he was black.
New York Post made another article saying, "Imagine if Joe Biden and John Fetterman tried to have a conversation."
Oh,
Yeah, it's horrible. It's dumb.
no. Yeah. So no, this is it's another sign we're not in good shape. But so I think we're pretty much done here, right? I mean, how long? I think we've kind of gone around the time.
Yeah, I don't know how long we went.
Yeah, I think we're good here. So
It's about to be
yeah,
one
I think we're
o'clock.
good. Yeah. So again, just to finish things off, check us out on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/, for the Republic. I think you might be seeing some more episodes. I think I might be doing some solo episodes. Uh, maybe we'll be doing our weekly episodes. We're gonna try to put some more content out there, some more shorts, some more short clips, videos, stuff like that. Check out Candy's gamer page. You want to share the link for that for your gamer channel tag right now? Do you have that? Do you know it?
Not by my hand, no. But I'll put it
It's
down in the
Crimson Gaming.
description below.
It's Crimson Gaming. You've seen our ad reads. You'll keep seeing them. If you're interested in video games and stuff like that, check out his channel.
If you're interested in being a
Like,
loser, check me out.
subscribe. If you're a ultra MAGA weeb, go out there, check out his videos. He's playing. What are you playing? What game you've been doing? The Diablo, and what
Yeah,
else?
I haven't been putting out any Diablo. But I've been doing some Pummel Party, Game Beast.
Pummel
Uh,
Party, Game Beast, Bag Boy. If you like all that, check it out.
yeah.
It's on his gamer channel, Crimson Gaming here on YouTube. It's funny. You're gonna enjoy it, and don't forget. Tell your friends. Tell everybody your mailman, your ex-wife. Tell your Democrat neighbors. Tell the Karens. Tell them all. Check out our channel here for the Republic. You can check us out anywhere: Spotify, YouTube, Apple, iTunes, everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us. So thank you to all of us. Um, thank you to all of you for checking us out, and I hope to see you guys next time. All right. So thanks
Have a
for
good one,
listening.
guys.